Escape is a survival mode like Horde. However, from when you hit the X button, you cut your way out of the pod, and you and your other two teammates are standing inside a swarm hive that you've been sent to destroy. All you have is a knife and a pistol, right deep down in the darkness. First thing you do is plant a bomb. Each of you is equipped with a venom bomb that's strapped to your chest, and then you put that in the ground, you hit the timer, and then you have to find your way out.
The mode is quite intense. You are always, racing time because the venom is behind you.
Venom's right behind us. Move your asses!
Constantly getting pushed, in front with the enemies that are in.
Like, none of you has ever been to this place before, none of you know the lay of the land, and you have to find the helicopter that's going to rescue you by navigating a labyrinth of underground caves and tunnels and facilities and all sorts of things, and obviously a swarm menace that's between you and safety. To make matters worse, there's a giant cloud of gas that you've brought with you into the form of this bomb, and when it goes off, it's chasing you out. And that means that you're gonna have to get out fast before the venom gets you, or the enemies do. Normally, when you play through the campaign or Horde, you have bullets everywhere. And so in Escape, we've made ammo extremely scarce. That means that you have to rely on your friends to either use their abilities to give you that ammo, or trade weapons and talk about what you're doing. And to be able to master the high levels of this game, you have to time your ultimates properly, you have to manage your resources properly, obviously land all your headshots, you have to manage your active reloads, you have to do all the things right. And you have to do them as a group, and then keep being able to do it encounter after encounter. At some point, like if you're at the max level of difficulty, and you fail in one of those things, well, you're probably going to have to restart.
We needed to create, these hives, the escape hives. And so as we were doing that, we realized there was an opportunity to have users do the same thing. And so it allowed us to basically build a tool for our level designers, and then sort of polish that up a little bit, add a little more usability to it to enable it for players. We want to give players and users as much freedom as possible. So if they want to make something cruel, really we just make it so that they have to play it through and get through at least once, so they can, gather their best player friends to try and help them get through it. And if they can get through it once, then the map is validated and they can publish it. Venom! Aside from that, we want to see the craziest versions of Escape through the map builder.
Escape is our first multiplayer mode that we've tried to merge with the narrative of the rest of the Gears world.
We wanted to create a new squad for this. One of the things we really wanted to have for Escape was its own identity. Our concern was that if you had pictures of people in a hive and you're showing them doing certain actions, that you wouldn't be able to tell whether that was the campaign or whether that was something completely different. And so we wanted to actually create a whole new squad that could go in and represent what Escape was.
One of the things that Rod Ferguson told me when he brought me on is that they wanted to do this really awesome, exciting new game mode, but they wanted to ground it in an interesting story because they were bringing in 3 new characters, which is, outside of normally in these game modes you have the core characters that you would experience in campaign. And they wanted to make it distinct and have a different voice for it. We have Keegan, Lonnie, and Mac, and they all come from different backgrounds, and I came in to flesh out those characters, give them some personality and some drive as to why they're doing what is essentially a crazy suicide mission.
Traditionally, multiplayer modes don't have a lot of backstory, and we have a new comic book series that's starting, and so we need characters with backstory, so why don't we use those two? And so if people want to know more about Escape, they can actually just go read the comic book and they'll get all that sort of backstory from that. These are characters that are in the present day in Gears 4, Gears 5, and they have a history going all the way back to the time of Gears 3 and the Locust War for some of them, so it fits really well in how we want to tell that story.
The Coalition has offered so much content in this game that just isn't common anymore. There's so many ways you can play it, so many different options, and I just can't wait to get into it and then also see my writing come to life.
Play 4 days early with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.